I remember when I was a child or even today, some salesman comes door to door to sell the Oxford dictionary or encyclopedia. I'm definitely sure that you also would have met such a salesman guy. And that time I used to lured by those attractive books, and I used to tell my mother, "Mummy, please buy these books. It will be helpful for my studies." But today when I see such a salesman guy, I used to think, who will be buying these big books in today's world, where Google made information available on the click of mouse without the strenuous effort of sliding those pages of the big books manually. And keeping these sturdy big books is another headache, and carrying them is a lot more. And I bet most of the viewers are aligned as per my opinion, and today so many people refuse to buy those books. But you will wonder if I tell you that despite of all these odds, that salesman guy is still able to make his target for the day. Then how do he do it? One fact is that we all would have observed sometime in the past such a salesman trying his level best to encounter as many houses as he can in a day. Probably because of this, every one of us would have seen him somewhere in the past. Actually, indirectly, he is using the law of averages to make his day target, which says that conducting more trials increases the overall likelihood of the desired outcome. This is actually a belief, but we can make use of this to achieve the great things in our life. For example, if you are an insurance agent, then make as many calls as you can in a day, so that at the end of the day, you have the average of personal appointments scheduled on your calendar. If you are the job seeker, then apply your resume to as many companies as you can, so you have probability of getting calls for the interview. If you are looking for the girlfriend, then do try to meet as many girls as you can, so average of girls will be ready for the first date. If you are someone who is wondering what interests you in your life, then try working in as many fields as you can, so that finally you can choose one field where your interest lies. This is actually a rejection game, where each rejected attempt taking us nearer towards our goal than we were yesterday. Knowing what is not for you or knowing what you don't want is the first step towards what you want, or you can call it as a trial and error method as well. Man from the birth designed to learn via trial and error method. Using this principle only, he learned how to walk, how to stand straight, how to learn cycle. But as he grown up, he tends to forget this very truth, and that is the reason the learning trend of man against his age is either steady or decreasing. So essence is, if the reward is greater than the risk, then don't stop. Try hitting your ground hard and believe on the law of averages, and soon you will find you have achieved the unachievable.